Now, moving on, members of parliament have faulted the judiciary over its recent ruling that declared the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NG-CDF, unconstitutional. During a debate on the latest release of NG-CDF funds amounting to 7 billion shillings, the lawmakers termed the ruling by the three-judge bench an attack on development. The MPs vowing to push back against what they term judicial overreach instigated by those against the fund. Here is that report.
By three-judge bench of Justices Mugure Thande, Kani Kimondo and Roslyn Aburili that declared NG-CDF unconstitutional has continued to draw criticism from members of the National Assembly. During Tuesday's afternoon sitting, MPs termed the ruling as a war against development, arguing that NG-CDF has been a vital tool in addressing unique development needs of constituencies across the country.
Instead of our judges fixing what is not working, they want to destroy what is working. That is unfortunate, and we cannot allow that. So I want to urge our honorable members, honorable Speaker, that we make sure this important fund is entrenched in the Constitution, and this House has the power to do that.
Mr. Speaker, for how long shall we deny Kenyans the right to enjoy a piece of the national cake, Mr. Speaker? I'm shocked and dismayed, Mr. Speaker, to see a ruling, and ideally, Mr. Speaker, the role of the three arms of government, Mr. Speaker, is interdependent, is to support each other for the good of the well-being of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. But when you have a targeted approach, Mr. Speaker, to rubbish one arm, then doesn't add value.
Members further claimed that agencies responsible for bringing cases against the fund are inherently anti-development.
We can also not be a house of lamentation. We are the ones who make the laws in this house, Mr. Speaker. We will not wait for NADCO report to entrench NG-CDF in the Constitution. We should extract NG-CDF from NADCO reports so that we bring it to this House as a standalone issue to be entrenched in the Constitution, Mr. Speaker.
We have said before, the ultimate solution to all this push and pull is amendment of the Constitution. And that amendment, Madam Speaker, we have already agreed, even in the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, that we want to make it a standalone amendment away from the entire NADCO report. It is our view as the lawyers and at the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee that we can execute that amendment without requiring a referendum.
They also added that the opposition to the fund was motivated by vested interests and call upon the House to amend the Constitution to entrench NG-CDF fund into law to avoid future judicial challenges.
As an intellectual and as a bright lawyer, this is one thing I am willing to defend to my grave. Bora usiguze NG-CDF. Wengine wanasema bora usiguze mulima, mimi bora usiguze NG-CDF. Hapo tutapigana.
For those of us from the pastoralist communities, the marginalized, we feel that CDF is the fund that has arrived. When on just the span that three judges can sit at the bench and say this is unconstitutional. Unconstitutional to who? CDF is about the people of this country.
MPs, according to the ruling, have until 30th of June 2026 to allow for the completion of the ongoing projects under NG-CDF. For Prime Edition, I'm Gladys Mungai.